Sorry, my allergies have been absolutely crazy, and I know usually I would just like, cough and sneeze right in your faces, but I'm trying to be polite, so anyway. Yeah, so from 2 months to 3 months and so on and so forth. We're gonna do that for the first year, and then, after she reaches a year, we'll do, 1 year, 2 year, that sort of thing. So I'm putting together all these videos, I'm adding some like really sweet music and things like that. And that I want to like save those for her for like when she graduates high school, and then just give her all those. Now I of course can show her the videos to look at in the interim, but I just thought that would just be a really lovely, thoughtful gift and something she may treasure, and it's definitely something we treasure already. So yeah, I'm working on that, and I'm very excited because now I need to work on her from 2 to 3 month video, and it's just amazing, like going back, just watching her progression and her grow, and like just all these things she's learned. It's just so fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And then I'm like so proud, so proud. And I also like, I'm not trying to be like that person because everyone wants to be like, oh yeah, my kid is advanced, my kid is gifted and stuff. Like, that's annoying, I know that, but I mean, she is truly doing things that are like beyond her, the average milestone, and I can attest. I can attest to that. Sorry, testify. I can attest to that. Just in the fact that when, we've visited her pediatrician, the pediatrician had witnessed her doing some things, like trying to roll over, which she hasn't successfully done yet, and trying to talk and smiling, like she was doing that, kind of ahead of the curve, if you will. And then even like her neck strength, like the way she like will hold herself up, like the doctor saw it. I've had some friends, the photographer who took her 5-week pictures, and just outside people who are just like, oh my god, like, is she really doing it? That I've never seen that. Like, so I'm just like, oh, that makes me feel good, because we do try to work with her a lot, and it's still doesn't even feel like enough. Like, I don't know if we're just too hard on ourselves, but I feel like even still, like, there's a lot more that we could be doing with her. And I don't know, it's just so cool. It's so cool to see like the effort that you put in and like some results actually, and even if she didn't, I would still be okay. But it does make me proud to see, like, she's just super smart, super funny, really cute, very sweet. She loves laughing. She loves like making like really long eye contact. She can follow things really well. Trying to talk. She likes to hold hands. She loves snuggling. Like, oh my god. Lucky. But alas, a couple things that I wanted to chat about. So I mentioned how we had went on our trip, and I don't know if I recall saying that while we were gone, I got my service light on for my car. Really comforting feeling when you're, out of state, right? Like, and I'm like, oh no, because that means like oil change is needed. And then they told me last time I was in, possibly need new tires, possibly need new brakes, like all these other things. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to be out of state when I have like a car emergency. That sucks. And then also the expense, because again, like, Mercedes, it is a great car, even though I've had a considerable amount of issues with it. Overall, it's a great car. It really is, once you get the things figured out. And thank goodness I guess I bought an extended warranty, and I don't even know how much is left on that or anything. I have no idea. Like, I did not ask enough questions when I made this purchase, and I should have. But yeah, so I'm glad that I did, because it has come through big time in a lot of things, but like general service is not covered. And I actually had an appointment today to take it in. Luckily, they were able to get me in a pretty good amount of time. And they gave me a rental car, and so we were removing her car seat and all that stuff, because I don't know how long they're going to have my cars. Sometimes it's really quick, sometimes it takes weeks. It just depends. And if I need new tires, I'm like, I don't know if they have them in stock, which I did ask, and they said, well, it just depends. And so they don't even freaking know, like that kind of thing. So got that out, but they got it done this afternoon, so it was really pointless to remove all that stuff. But I don't know. I was just kind of like, if there's an emergency, right? Like, what if she needs to go to the hospital or something? Like, we need to have her seat. So, I mean, I guess I don't regret that, but also it was just like, turns out it wasn't really necessary. But, yeah, I went in. It was a little bit less than I had been estimated, but it was still very steep. And again, it's just like, fuck. Like, I've been on maternity leave for 3 months now. And again, prior to that, my company stopped sending me business. So I scraped together just a couple little sales. And what I made off of those is the equivalent of less than minimum wage. So I've been living off of savings essentially all year. And thank God I had those savings. I mean, I've worked my ass off to put stuff away. And I did plan for the 3 months, but I didn't plan on them. And by them, I mean my employer totally screwing me prior to maternity leave, and then also screwing with me so hard while I've been on maternity leave to that now to the point I'm like, I'm not playing with them anymore. So I told you about how I've had all these struggles, and it's so disheartening and frustrating and very unfair that I've been treated in such a manner. And then on top of it, having to fight and constantly follow up because they won't do it. They won't follow up with you. They'll take a month, weeks. You know, there's no rush on their end for anything. So I'm having to consistently stay on them. And it just is very stressful, again, after you go through such a major life event, like 9 months of carrying a baby, which is so tasking in so many ways as is, your income being manipulated, postpartum, you know, the surgery, going through the labor, adjusting to a new life with a little baby. It's been a lot. It's been very distressing, actually. And I finally got a response from HR. Super sad when HR is so intimidated by an accountant of a company, essentially, that they can't properly do their job, or maybe they just don't know how to do their job. I don't know. I don't know which it is. Maybe both. But I finally got a response because I did ask. I was like, why have I not been paid the outstanding commission for this job that closed on April 27th? It has now been 5 weeks. This should have been paid out. Like, please let me know what the delay is, and I would like to see this on this upcoming paycheck. On the state. Of course, took days to hear back. And finally she responded and said, oh, well, apparently the delay is because we don't pay out outstanding commissions to people on FMLA. But the accountant is willing to pay you, has agreed to pay you on this upcoming paycheck. First of all, I've done a lot of extensive research, digging, and on top of it have consulted a lawyer. And that is not only illegal on a state level, it is illegal on a federal level. And it is also grounds for filing for the EEOC, which they've already given me grounds for that. And like another thing or two, I don't even remember. There's a few things that they're vastly screwing up with. And the reason that the state and federal wage violation come up is because when it comes to pay or commissions, because commissions can be a little murky, gray area, they should be treated on the same pay schedule in the same manner as any employee that is on like paid time off or like on a sick day. So this company does pay employees if they happen to be on vacation or have taken a sick day, but yet they're telling me they don't pay people on FMLA. That's illegal. It's very, very, very illegal, in fact. And they put it right in writing. Like, wow. So I don't know if they're just not familiar with federal and state laws regarding that. I don't know if, leaving an accountant of a company to make so many decisions and so many facets, including rules of HR, and not allowing HR to actually do their job, or if HR just simply doesn't know either, like nobody knows anything. It's wrong. And I thought it was really cute how they added, oh, she agreed to pay you. Okay. Thank you. And honestly, if I wanted to press further with things, I could. I've got a whole blockade of evidence, whole huge paper trail. Like, excuse me. I don't know. I guess they are so used to just driving over everyone and doing whatever they feel like at any point and not getting like a lot of pushback on things. I'm not the average idiot. And I'm not going to let up. And I'm glad that I haven't, even though it has caused a great amount of anguish and distress. I'm glad that I haven't. They did also agree to allow me to extend my leave, my PTO that I've earned. So I'm glad they're willing to concede, because I don't know if they're just, again, seeing that I'm not letting up and that I may actually know what I'm doing. Or they've realized that they've made a huge amount of mistakes by leaving me such a beautifully curated paper trail, admitting to wrongdoing and illegal activity, essentially. Neither here nor there. So I am going to finish out this last week. And then I plan on writing a rather short and concise, I suppose, letter of resignation here. And this company does not believe in 2 weeks either, which is interesting also, because it says in their policy that they would like 2 weeks. They don't give anybody 2 weeks, period. I've never seen it. Especially in sales. If you're in sales and you want to like resign for one reason or another, they don't let you continue working. They just say, go ahead and, we'll have HR escort you to clean out your office. They treat you like a criminal. But yeah, so I guess that's my move now. It sucks because I have enjoyed working for this company in the past. It had been a great opportunity for me, and I am very, very grateful to the CEO in particular. But things have gotten so out of hand, and I've been treated so poorly, especially like in the past year. Just a lot of unfair things. I turned my head to it just because even though I was given such handicaps and blatant challenges and also being withheld from, I still managed to muscle through it and do a great job and still land at least in the top 5 and hit the very steep sales goals that were set for me. I still did it. But now that things have gotten so bad, and the fact that leading up to my maternity leave, like my income has been so manipulated. It's no longer about the effort, the activity, skill level. It's purely whether or not the managers are in a good mood that day or they agree with whatever's going on. Like that should not be the case, especially when you're a commission-only employee. Like I depend on being given ample opportunities and my skill and my work ethic to be able to earn income. Otherwise, I don't get paid at all, period. I'm zero overhead for them, in fact. It's not right. I have to have reliable, consistent income, which I trust in myself, but I know that I cannot trust them to do what they should be doing in an ethical manner. I know that they cherry pick clients that are sent in to disperse. I've seen it happen many, many times. And I don't have that on paper to like, because there's some things where it's like, well, they're not that stupid, but I know that it's happening. I've seen it. I've heard it from managers' mouths. Like, I know that it happens. And I know that's exactly what's been happening to me. And the only thing I can really say is that because the sales goals are even steeper this year, and leadership knew that I would be off for a minimum of 3 months, that they chose to not send me business, because at that point they're just writing me off. Like, I'm useless to their yearly sales target. Like, that's how they're looking at it. Even though, I mean, who knows? Maybe I could have made up for it. Like, I'm a pretty humble person overall, but I've been doing this kind of work for a really, really long time, and I'm not afraid of, like, hard work, long hours, and getting stuff done. They're making a huge mistake by doing this to me and treating me like that, because now that my income has been affected, because before I could turn again my cheek and take the disrespect and take the blatant discrimination, and I could handle all that stuff when I'm getting paid. Now I'm not getting paid. Nope. There's no point in me being here any longer. I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to sit there for 9 hours a day hoping and praying that they're going to make fair and sound decisions. I'm not wasting my time. I have much better use of my time. And regardless, any company that I would choose to spend my time with and offer my service to, I will be a huge asset. I know that. And they'll see that too, based on my history and the powerhouse numbers I've put up. So it is what it is. So I'm just going to take my time, just wrap up this chapter of my life, essentially, and be polite. Like, I went into it initially saying, like, I'm going to tell the CEO everything, like, I'm going to tear this shit down, like, but now that, like, I'm just taking a step back, I'm like, no, that's only going to hurt me in the long run, especially, like, future employer. Like, I'm going to keep it respectful, I'm going to keep it short, I'm going to keep it thankful, because I am grateful, overall. Learned a lot. And I feel like me surviving in this atmosphere, which, mind you, I am the only woman in sales who has made it for this long. I think the longest was like 3 months for another woman in sales. I've made it a long time. I've done really well. And I feel like because I have survived in this really, like, call it fast-paced, very toxic, very manipulative environment, facing active discrimination, I think that I can make it pretty much anywhere. So that's that. But other than that, I'm in a pretty good mood today. Took care of a little bit of business, which is relieving. So I told you about the outstanding medical bills that I had, and how I've been struggling and fighting to get that all squared away, because, the more that I fight with it, the smaller and smaller the bill gets. So that's really good. Well, I've gotten to a point where I owe $0. So incredible. Huge relief. So thankful. Got that done. And then I do have other medication that I've been fighting with insurance, which, again, I'm not going to detail. Other medication that I've been needing for months and months now, that I've been fighting with insurance, and I didn't realize, like, why it's been such a struggle. Well, apparently the medication I need is like $30,000. That's why insurance has been fighting so hard, because they don't want to pay $30,000, and neither do I. So yeah, I've been working through that, and yeah, I finally got that done. So my medication should be here soon, within the next couple days, if not early next week. So we'll get started on that, get that done. And yeah, I don't know, it feels good. I'm gonna just stop here real quick, because, like, we're almost 20 minutes in, and I just have a couple afterthoughts here. So thanks for bearing with me, as always, guys.